Special treat today. We like to call him the professor because he knows more about football than practically anybody else. You probably forgot more about football than I even know, Bob.
I'm not sure, Lance.
Bob McGinn, formerly of JS Online and the Journal Sentinel, and now you have a new endeavor, Bob. It's called BobMcGinnFootball.com.
I'm dipping my waters into the technical age here, Lance. I got to blame my son on this one. My son Charlie works in national sales in Milwaukee. He told me right away after I semi-retired from the Journal Sentinel. He said, "You can't let the draft series die, you know." And we talked about it, and then we kind of kept talking during the summer, and then we decided to go back and cover the Packers. But a chance to work with your flesh and blood, Lance, you know, with a kid like that who's so eager to help, I couldn't pass it up. I really couldn't.
It was almost like The Godfather, Bob. Just when you think you're out, they bring you back in. But it is true that when you have a chance to work with your son or a family member, it's got to be special for you.
Completely. And you know, we've only been going 4 days here, but we've been working on it for 6 to 8 weeks, and every day is great. It's so exciting. I'm reinvigorated. To be an entrepreneur, you know, I'm a newspaper guy, Lance, you know, and this is a whole new horizon, and it's very exciting.
There's got to be an appetite for this stuff, though, Bob, and obviously you can go maybe longer than what you previously did, or what reaction have you gotten, basically, from people?
Real good, you know. These subscription-based websites, they're taking off in Pittsburgh, the Atlantic, you may have heard of this site. They're in 6 cities now. Greg Bedard, my former colleague at the Journal Sentinel, has now started one in Boston. So it's just people, good writing, lack of deadlines, so it's maybe, hopefully, better stories.
Good content.
That's the whole point of it. And we hope people will pay for news, and we can get a little tiny bit of this massive Packer puzzle. There's so many people writing and covering it to superb standards. We're just going to try to get a little niche. And
for somebody who does subscribe to this thing, Bob, what do you feel like they'll really get, or what things that will you really focus on? You
know, the anchor things that I did at JS, you know, the scouting report, the rating the Packers, the Sunday column, the game stuff. Those are the main items that I know people love, you know, and might have missed. So that'll be back. That's it, and then the draft series, really. We're going to go from September 1 to May 1. And the fun for me is be able to renew acquaintances with the assistant coaches and the scouts from all around the league who really just helped me all these years.
And it's always phenomenal information, Bob. I'm amazed at how you can get guys to say things that maybe they won't say to other people, or just information that you can't find anywhere else.
Many years on the beat, right, Lance? Developing these relationships, and people know I'm in it just trying to explain the game to my readers, get through the BS, you know, so to speak, and the subterfuge, and just explain what's happening on the field and just how good all these players are.
And let's get to some of the stuff and the items that the Packers are going through. And I kind of picked out a top 5. So, right tackle, if Brian Bulaga is out for any extended period of time, are you comfortable with Jason Spriggs and Kyle Murphy at right tackle?
Again, or Saturday night, Murphy played better than Spriggs. Spriggs played most of the time on the left side. When he was on the right, it wasn't good. Spriggs did not have a good rookie year. There was a lot of questions about his toughness coming into the draft. I remember all these scouts. Murphy's not a great athlete. He's a bit of a waist bender, but he is playing better than Spriggs right now. So, you know, Don Barclay, if he returns from this injury, he can play right tackle too. That could be the ultimate option, Lance. You don't know.
I'm a little bit of a waist bender too, in all honest admission, Bob. But we also have to talk about the outside linebacker position. And Nick Perry the other night, you know, spraining his right ankle, hurting his right ankle, and that position was thin a little bit with Kyler Fackrell kind of being up and down in camp, and then Jaron Elliott hurting his back. What do you see there?
You know, a bit surprising that Peppers and Dayton Jones were allowed to get out of here. You know, I mean, they played a lot of snaps. Jones is playing inside for the Vikings. He's more of an outside backer now, so that's a blow. I think Elliott's played pretty well, Jaron Elliott. I really do. I see improvement in him this summer. Fackrell's kind of treaded water.
Right.
Reportedly, they had Ahmad Brooks in, the ex-Niner, for a visit yesterday. I don't know what became of that. Reggie Gilbert's been okay. Calvin, the rookie free agent's been okay. They got to have Perry and Matthews come through and play a ton of snaps.
And I guess one way to phrase it is, are they a legit Super Bowl contender? And the other way to phrase it, Bob, is the defense any better than last year? Your thoughts on both of those?
They are definitely a legit Super Bowl contender. I mean, look at the Cowboys now with Elliott facing the 6-game suspension. There's been key injuries in the division, certainly. The Lions have lost a guy. The Bears lost their #1 wideout. So they're definitely. You got Aaron Rodgers, Lance, and if he's healthy all year, what's that mean? 8 victories rolling out the ball?
Absolutely.
7, 9 in there?
Absolutely.
And they have a lot of great players. Devontae Adams has had a tremendous summer. I've seen a bunch of practices up there.
I think the double tight end thing too, Bob.
That's going to be a factor. No question. They're going to miss Jared Cook's speed now.
Yeah, that's true.
Bennett does not give you that.
That's
and
true.
Kendricks is not Jared Cook. So Super Bowl contender, yes. What was the other part of your question?
Well,
Lance?
I just think, is the defense any better than what they were last year? It seems like they are better, but are they good enough to get to that?
We don't know if they've helped the rush. We haven't seen Montravius Adams or Beagle, you know. I have no clue other than what scouts were telling me in April about these players. They both have pass rush.
Right.
Don't know if they can do it at this level. You never know until you see it. Kevin King, they need a #1 corner, Lance. Devon House was not that in Jacksonville. He was not that in Green Bay. Kevin King so far, he's been up and down.
Yeah, but I think they got something in Josh Jones. I don't know what you've seen out of him so far, but it seems like he will be a player.
I agree. He's played better than Kevin King. It's too bad he's not a corner where they really have a need. Safety, they have a million of them, you know.
They are deep at that position. And the other thing I agree with you on is you look at the Seahawks and they have warts, and you look at the Falcons, the Super Bowl representative from the NFC, and it seems like the Packers are right there with them if they can get their problem solved.
Definitely. There's no question. They have so many advantages. We know the advantages. The revenue, the fan support on the road, Lance. Everywhere they go, they got 10,000 fans. That's enormously impressive and helpful. They have a really good team with a whole bunch of good players. So they've had a chance to win it all 8 years in a row. And this would be #9.
Final 2 things, Bob.
Yep.
As far as the corners go, they do have quantity, but do they have quality? You were kind of hinting at that with Kevin King and maybe some others.
Somebody's got to be a #1, Lance. You know, some people thought King could be. It's hard to do that as a rookie.
Right.
Can Devon House be a 1? I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen him now. He's been injured. That hasn't helped the cause. You got Demarius Randall and Rollins from that class of 2015, right? Maybe slight improvement this year, but you can't say they're a 1. You can't even say they're starters. The best corner they had last year was Micah Hyde and Ladarius Gunter. They were the most effective cornerbacks they had. Hyde's in Buffalo, and Gunter has been shuffled to 5th or 6th on the depth chart. You got to like Josh Hawkins. He's played pretty well.
Yes, he has, and they tried him out with the ones, and he accounted for himself quite well.
Of all these people, Lance, you would think 1 or 2 can really elevate their game and do what they want, do what they need them to do.
Final thing is, Mike McCarthy, during his tenure, and you've covered his entire tenure, where do you feel he ranks among current coaches and just overall as a head coach?
Bill Belichick, I think, is the greatest of all time. You know, Mike McCarthy beat Bill Belichick the last time they played, didn't he? At Green Bay?
Absolutely.
Yes, he did. And remember the warm greeting from Belichick afterwards?
And just about beat him with Matt Flynn one time in their house.
Boy, you're right.
Many years ago.
You're right, Lance, yeah. So Belichick, you could tell he really respects Mike McCarthy. And well, he should. McCarthy's won a Super Bowl when all the odds were against him that year. Now he has to kind of bring back the echoes, man. He's had a lot of playoff disappointments. He's a solid coach. He knows exactly how to prepare a team. He's got to do it. He's had a lot of playoff pitfalls. He's one of the top 10 certainly right now. He's not Belichick, but nobody ever has been, I don't think.
We always have total respect for the professor, Bob McGinn, and we wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks
Bob.
a lot, Lance. Appreciate it.
No problem. Bob McGinn, BobMcGinnFootball.com. Check it out. Thanks for watching on today's TMJ4.